Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. Here's a look at the market leading stocks for the coming session. This is going to be for Tuesday, August 26, 2014. Had kind of a lackluster day today. We gapped up, went a little bit higher, went a little bit lower on the day, but really didn't make a whole lot of progress. What we did do though is wind up with some decent downside signals here. You can see in the Nasdaq patch that we are certainly biased to the sell side. We don't have any open close deviations though. Entertainment Arts EA got close, 1.9% below the day's open. Mostly, as you can see here from the volume column, we're mostly trading on very light volume. So take that into consideration for tomorrow. So we had a day where we popped up with a gap up and really didn't go anywhere. So we're basically just running in place, which isn't a real sign of strength, which is actually a sign of weakness for the market. In the financials, there's some volume bumps. We had one at Bank of America, we had one at Goldman Sachs, and also one in Morgan Stanley. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are both setting up with downside RPS signals, which is pretty notable given that they're trading above average volume. Moving on to the energy names, BTU had a very tough day. Downside CPS signal with a close well below the day's open, almost 3%. PBR, on the other hand, had a real strong day, but that one does have a signal with it, but it does have almost a volume bump. Moving on to the market generals, a little bit to the sell side here, but not nearly as decisive as the Nasdaq side. Best Buy had a volume bump, as did VMware. Didn't have any open close deviations, and none of the stocks that are sporting signals are showing us any decent volume. Moving on to the housing names, this is where we had some weakness. We've got a lot of data coming out tomorrow with the Case-Shiller number, so this could definitely follow through if the data supports it to the downside, so keep an eye on that. A lot of downside indications. Transport's very, very light volume, but mostly indicated to the sell side. American Airlines had a very rough day, closing 2% below the day's open. Moving on to the commodities, even have weakness here. A lot of contra candles where we're closed up on the day but below the day's open. So that definitely is there was no sign of kind of a safe haven today. So definitely a weak day overall for the entire market, at least as far as putting any distance between the today's open and today's close. So kind of a tepid day with a fair amount of downside signals for tomorrow. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.